So the petition that our staff have signed, over 2,000, like I said, have signed this. And it says, we, the undersigned, demand Washington's support staff receive a significant class pay increase in the 25-27 contracts. The critical work in Washington state would grind to a halt without our support and administrative staff. In addition to making sure employees and citizens alike have what they need, they came to work in person daily at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic so that no one went unserved. Support staff have only received a class-specific pay increase once in over a decade, which was to bring them above the union negotiated minimum wage. Support staff have not only been on the front lines of the pandemic, but they also go above and beyond daily for a wage that is not livable. No full-time public servant should be forced to rely on public assistance to make ends meet. It is long overdue for Washington state to pay for our essential support staff and give them a fair and livable wage. And I will email you a copy of this petition so you can review it and see each signature and comment that have been made in support of this petition as well. I think we can all admit that without our support staff, our offices would fall apart. More often than not, when there's a question, our support staff know the answer. When there's a new supervisor or a new employee, those same support staff frequently are responsible for training them. Imagine having to train your supervisor more than once, because we go through them pretty quickly, on things like paperwork, bill paying, invoices. Now imagine that you have to train your supervisor, but you don't even get paid half of what they are getting paid. Doesn't make you feel very valued or appreciated, does it? I distinctly remember the WorkSource office I was in. Our administrative assistant position was eliminated and our office fell into disarray. Bills didn't get paid. No one knew where anything was. Supplies didn't get ordered. Invoices weren't sent. I could go on for days about the chaos that we dealt with for over a year, just trying to figure out the work that our administrative assistant did for us. That was 6 years ago. Since then, our support staff still haven't received a wage increase, and they are still the glue that holds our units together. Many in leadership have their own personal administrative assistants. They're handling your schedules. They're taking your phone calls. They're looking at your emails and sending emails on behalf of you and much more. Yet they receive a significantly lower amount of pay than those that they are supporting. We've seen our support staff positions see an increase in work and a decrease in their pay when you factor in inflation. The offers we've seen at the table for our support staff, while more than they have seen in years, are not enough. Many of the humans that support us all, they're keeping us organized. They're keeping our offices running for the citizens that we serve. They are also citizens we serve because their wages aren't high enough to live on. Our staff deserve to live, not just survive. And currently, unless you step up, they're stuck in survival mode. So with that, I'd like to yield the floor first to Kelly. I hope you read this petition. I hope you hear what we have to say. And I really hope you do better for your workforce. Thank you. Kelly, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Hauk, and I'm currently an Administrative Assistant 3 with the Department of Ecology. I've been an admin for a little over 2.5 years, and I'm the most senior admin on our current team. I want to thank you for coming and listening to our stories. I'm currently part of the new Climate Pollution Reduction Program within the Department of Ecology, which was established just over a year. When our program was established, I was the sole administrative support for over a month, tasked with managing the needs of our program leadership team, over 40 staff members. Also, that included my secondary duties, which include purchase coordinating, Epic Mac coordinator, hiring, and other secondary duties that I was the only person that knew how to do. Despite taking on more than was initially asked for me, my salary remained the lowest in the program. We're often told that administrative staff are the glue that holds agencies together and that our roles are critical. However, this recognition does not seem to be reflected in our current pay. I'm struggling to make ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck, and I know that many of my colleagues in similar support roles, including sex seniors, office assistants, and other clerical workers, are facing even more challenging financial situations I am, despite their vital contributions. Our work in public service is marked by sacrifices and dedication to serving the people of Washington. It's not only fair that those of us who work for the state are compensated with a livable wage. Low pay is contributing to decreased job satisfaction and higher turnover rates, with many administrative staff leaving state service for better opportunities, mostly in the private sector. This ongoing cycle leads to increased recruitment and training costs, which ultimately strains the state budget. It's time to address this issue. We need a significant and timely increase in our support staff wages to ensure they're both livable and competitive. This wage increase is not just overdue, it's essential. Please take action to demonstrate that the state values the hard work and commitment of its administrative staff. Your support will not only improve our financial stability, but also enhance our job satisfaction and retention within our vital public service roles. Thank you. I was also asked to read another administrative professional's speech who was not able to make it here today. Her name is Gabrielle Thorne, and she's a staff person who works for the Developmental Disabilities Administration for DSHS that I'd like to read on her behalf. She is a member of a support staff for a King County DCYF office for 2 years. Supervisor pay, the King County 5% increase and step increases for my education were not sufficient for her to live in King County. She worked a second job in retail where she had a higher hourly wage and had my husband pay for her rent and to buy her groceries. But to be clear, an entire month of wages in this critical position before taxes was not enough to pay my rent and have anything left for food or other bills, and they do not live in Seattle. Similarity, I was never able to fully staff my team because candidates would decline once the truth about our pay scale was apparent. The 6 people I did hire all lived with partners or families, and only one of them stayed longer than 6 months, while the rest of the better paying work with less stress and risk to personal safety. The last person has moved on, by the way. So support staff are the first to interact with the public. They touch every single case of our state agency maintains. They are berated, belittled, and threatened by the public service that they answer the phones or behind the reception desk. Support staff are told they are important, but not treated as such. They are constantly touted as the backbone or the glue of a given agency, yet support staff are paid so little that many qualify for government assistance. They are showered with speeches and flowery language about how valued they are, yet the last time the support staff wage were increased, it had nothing to do with value. It was only a means to keep the state from breaking minimum wage laws. Enough empty words. It's time to raise support staff minimum wage to be competitive, livable ones. There's no reason places like McDonald's, Target, or Taco Bell should pay better than the state. Do the right thing and approve targeted raises for support staff classifications.
I'm a customer service specialist 3 with the Seattle office of the Developmental Disabilities Administration, where I've worked for 10 years, and I worked for 5 years previously at the Healthcare Authority. Ladies and gentlemen of the Office of Financial Management, good afternoon. My name is Eric Hutchison, and I am a proud employee of the Department of Social and Health Services Developmental Disabilities Administration. For the past decade, I've witnessed firsthand the unwavering commitment and dedication of our support staff, the backbone of our organization. Today, I stand before you to advocate for a long overdue salary increase for these essential team members. The vital role of support staff. Our support staff, whether administrative assistants, customer service specialists, or office assistants, play a critical role in ensuring the smooth functioning of our agency. They are the unsung heroes who keep our operations running efficiently. From managing paperwork and coordinating schedules to providing essential administrative support, they are the glue that binds our programs together. Challenges faced by support staff. Despite their pivotal role, support staff often find themselves underappreciated and financially strained. Many of them juggle multiple responsibilities, often going above and beyond their job descriptions. Rising living costs and inflation have eroded their purchasing power and over the years. Retention and morale. A fair salary is not just about financial stability. It directly impacts employee morale and retention. When support staff feel valued and adequately compensated, they're more likely to stay with the organization, reducing turnover costs. High turnover disrupts workflow, affects team dynamics, and ultimately impacts the quality of the services we provide our clients. Comparable salaries. Let us consider the broader context. Comparable positions with the city and county government agencies or private organizations often offer better compensation. We risk losing talented individuals to better paying opportunities elsewhere, which ultimately hurts our ability to serve the community effectively. The ripple effect. A salary increase for support staff is not just about them, it benefits everyone. When our support staff are content and motivated, they contribute positively to the work environment, fostering collaboration and productivity. Ultimately, this translates into better outcomes for the individuals and families we serve. In conclusion, or in closing, I urge the Office of Financial Management to recognize the invaluable contributions of our support staff. Let us invest in their well-being by providing a competitive salary that reflects their dedication and hard work. By doing so, we not only retain our talented workforce, but uphold our commitment to serving vulnerable populations across the state. Thank you for your attention, and I trust that you will consider this matter earnestly. Together, we can create an environment where every employee feels valued and motivated to continue making a difference. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to be reading Amy Conklin's statement first. She wasn't able to make it. I'm going to read it in the first person because I think it's important to hear what she wrote. So, hello, my name is Amy Conklin, and I've worked for DCYF for 19 and a half years. In that time, I've only seen one raise in pay to bring us over the minimum wage. I'm lucky in that my spouse makes a good wage, but even then, we are barely surviving paycheck to paycheck. We still have to visit the food bank often to supplement our food budget. My husband was sick for a couple of months last year and lost his job. We had to set up a GoFundMe and ask for our friends and family to help us pay our rent, as we had a 30-day pay or vacate notice. I was one of the fortunate ones in that my friends, family, and union siblings were able to help us out of trouble. Over the years, I and many of my administrative staff coworkers have had to find second jobs, leave state service altogether due to the low pay and the inability to support themselves or their families sufficiently. I've heard stories of administrative staff in our offices losing their housing and having to couch surf or rent a room for themselves and their children because it's all they can afford. There are many administrative staff positions across the state that cannot be filled, and the reason specified is almost always the low pay. We are consistently told we are the backbone or support beams of agencies we work for, but we are not shown that value in the pay we are given. So my name is Jeanette Ovelts, and I've worked for DCYF for 9 years. I currently supervise multiple programs. Throughout my time with the state, I have heard repeatedly that support staff are the backbone of our agencies, but it rings hollow when our staff are forced to rely on food banks and GoFundMe to meet their most basic needs. In the 9 years I have worked for the state, I have never been in an office in which our support staff are fully staffed, and during that time, wages have only fallen further and further behind. We saw during the pandemic that most offices could not even manage to stay operational with support staff working from home. Despite being the lowest paid, they were expected to be in person throughout because we literally cannot function without them. They are not just filing paperwork. They are responsible for audits, redacting horrific accounts of child abuse, ensuring the children in our care have food when they struggle to feed their own families. They keep our staff and the families we serve safe by making sure our cars are maintained, stocking PPE, and purchasing concrete goods for the field like harm reduction kits and safe sleep environments. They are often the first to respond to critical incidents, from calling 911 when a worker is assaulted in the lobby, and even pulling them behind secured doors, putting themselves on the line. They are expected year after year to do more with less. Because of the critically low pay, we cannot keep staff, and we expect the staff we have for less than minimum wage in King County to cover 2 offices, work the front desk, and process emergent vouchers. Do more with less. I have been guilty of contributing to this when I called Amy Conklin to find the correct form or process for something, because the support staff throughout most of our offices are simply just too new to know the processes. This is unsustainable. A stable support staff means workers in the field and the families we serve have the support they need. Support staff do not just file papers or answer phones. They support all Washingtonians in accessing the critical services they need. Support staff support us all.
I hope that you heard these stories and they resonate with you, because these are happening to humans who come into work every day to serve the citizens of Washington. And they happen to also have to take days off work so they can be served and receive government services.